Hello YouTube. Right. Why am I recording this video is because I have been mortified lately for the events that are taking place in Germany about the refugees, and it's a situation that is affecting to all of us. Now, in order to put this into a more personal perspective, we have to start imagining how would it be if one of these refugees come to live in your house, for whom you have to give a room of your house, you have to give bedding, you have to give clothing, you have to give food, you have to provide transport, you have to provide medical care, you have to provide food and services, of course, water, electricity, gas, internet, and so on. And this person is not allowed to work in your house because he doesn't have a permission to do so. So he doesn't take the rubbish outside, he doesn't cook for you, he doesn't go to the grocery shop to bring the supplies for the week and so on. So you have to put up with everything. Now, that is the case, that's what is happening right now. And what is worse is that the government is accommodating them in empty buildings in the cities. And I have spoken about this in my book already. I was claiming these empty spaces in the city for the citizens, because at the end of the day, no matter if it was for a military use or what have you, the military or the police or any other entity run by the government, they run basically on our taxes. So those empty properties, what's happening in England, for example, they give these properties to developers of the city who have the money to go through the hideous planning permission and demolish the old buildings and build a beautiful new building with offices or flats, and they are again unaffordable. But the money that the government was being given for these empty spaces, which are not from the government but are from the citizens, it is not used to help us paying less taxes at the end of the month. It doesn't really help us to get a new flat or office in this new developed area of the city. We are again thrown at the mercy of the private company that have developed this area of the city on our behalf, and we have to be grateful. Now, with all of those empty spaces, and instead of the government developing themselves more offices to create jobs or more flats so that the taxpayer can have a better and cheaper accommodation, they are giving it to the refugees. And I am not against humanitarian help, I am not against refugees at all, but the government is being very, very silly on the way that they are managing this, starting from here in Germany and ending up in all the other countries that are receiving the refugees. And let's face it, if there was a brilliant mind out there with all the solutions in the government for these problems, they would have already implemented this a while ago and not be waiting until this problem pushing us out of our homes. I know my grandparents are about to sell their house where they have been living for the last 60 years because in front of their house the government is planning to accommodate thousands of refugees, and they are old people and they are scared for their safety. As is natural, they are too many, and studies have shown that whenever there are too many newcomers, all in one area, they don't really integrate for a simple fact of numbers. What is worse is that the locals feel threatened, and this have happened in Bristol, in the UK, where newcomers were planted on posher areas of the city, expecting them to be integrated with the culture. And what happened after not so many years, it was that the locals moved to a different area because they didn't want to be surrounded by, let's face it, people who are not being easily integrated. And so this matter of integration is very interesting, because I know people that have been born in Germany, they have lived here their entire lives, and when you ask them where they are from, they don't say they are Germans. They still believe that they are Polish, or they are Turkish, or they are from other countries, just because their parents have forced them into the mentality that they have to keep that culture. Now, I am in a complete disagreement about that, because integration didn't happen for over 25 years. So if the integration process didn't take place for these people after 25 years, despite the fact they were born in this country, what do you expect from the newcomers? When do you expect them to be integrated in this society? And do you know, on my foreign eyes, what it means to be German? To be German, it is being part of a culture that is that great, that is capable to put their own selves aside in order to open a space for another culture to come and to be part of this nation, which is not what people who are coming here are doing. They are taking that space from the German culture, and they are forcing or implanting their own beliefs. There is a Turkish radio in Mannheim. In fact, part of the city is taken. It is called the Kleine Istanbul, or the small Istanbul in Germany, because they keep all their traditions and so on and so forth. That is not integration. They are not willing to give up their beliefs to become part of a greater culture, and that happens all over in the world. And what is happening is basically that the locals are feeling threatened, and of course there are some reactions against that. Now I am going to tell you, if you are part of the government or in any position of power, what, in my opinion, should be done with the refugees. First, they are not handicaps, they are not idiots, they are people with the skills, talent, strength and health that they can exercise to help local activities. I myself have worked in the automotive industry, in a production line, and many of those jobs are not highly qualified, and any monkey can do that, without disrespect, of course, and not offense intended. A lot of Eastern Europeans are employed to work in the fields in Germany. That's also another work that people could be doing with no qualifications. The road works, the whole Germany, it is infested of work roads, and of course that is costing the taxpayer, that is costing us our money. And if we have some newcomers, they could be exercising those kind of jobs to help us and to help the economy, to help themselves, to pay for all the basic services and needs that they already have. Another thing that the government could do with the refugees is, the aim of the refugees is have a better life. Europe, in general, do have a very great world reputation. I come originally from South America, and I know heck of a lot of land is wasted over there. They do need, in South America, a lot of help regarding organization, regarding school, regarding advancements in the universities, and so on and so forth. You have in Europe a lot of workforce that are unemployed, starting from Spain, that it has the economy meltdown. Greece is another example, but we have a lot of qualified people who cannot find jobs. So, if the European government, say Germany or England, do establish a partnership with a South American country, and you work together, guys, to open factories over there, to help with the local economies, in retribution you can send the workforce of refugees to live over there. It is going to cost much cheaper than covering all their life expenses in Europe. I used to pay in Venezuela 120 euros per month, renting a house of 2-bedroom, paying for food of the month, electricity, cable, and water, gas as well, and 120 euros for a 2-bedroom house. In Europe, it's unthinkable to have a room for that money. So it will be much cheaper to send refugees over there. You are going to give them a better possibility of life. You are going to give them the possibility to work in under the European supervision in a foreign country away from war. You are going to free the European countries from the refugees, and you can send your unemployed people to run those communities who can help the local production in South America for factories, manufacturers, products, development of universities, help in private businesses, just workforce, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things that can be done, and I think somebody should do something. I am going to carry on doing these videos, hoping that it will reach the right ears, or at least will raise concerns among the population, so that we can talk and start organizing ourselves towards a better outcome for all of us. So until the next time, thanks for watching.